Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Arc Basics. I'm Phlinger Phoo, and today we're going to be discussing the best base locations, in my opinion, on Aberration. Now, I've based all over Aberration. I've done many series on Aberration. I love this map. Now, over the several years of me actually playing on this map, I've come up with some places that I really like, some places that I would always want to base but never have, and some places that I just avoid like the plague, because if you put your base there, you're asking for trouble. And there's a lot of them on Aberration, a lot of them. All right, make sure that when you're planning out your base locations, that, see, if it's up in the green zone, you'll be fine. And here, let me show you. The map is sectioned off into 3 different areas, and they're very clear. Actually, it's 4 different areas, and they're very clear on the map. You have the kind of the dull brown areas. That's the surface, because Aberration is completely subterranean. You're below the surface of the arc because the arc has been destroyed, and everybody has went down into a subterranean existence. So, yeah, the surface is the light brown areas, which is only safe part of the time. During the daytime, it is not safe. You will get burnt alive. You'll become s'mores up there, and it's not good. It's not tasty. It's just death. So only go up there at night when it's safe and it's really, really cold, and then you can go get some free loot and fight a lot of reapers. But also there are tunnels that go to the surface. From the green and the blue zone, that they seem like they could be rather safe, but sometimes they're not. All depends. Every once in a while, you will have surface reapers dropping down from the surface into the tunnels that lead to the surface area. So be very, very cautious with that. Although sometimes the tunnels can be a really good source of metal and such like that, also be rather close where you can go up whenever it's nighttime and go get some free loot up there. It's actually kind of cool. But just be wary when you're building there. So I'm not going to be pointing out too many of the tunnels. Just know that if you are building in the tunnels, sometimes you may wake up to have a reaper in your base. It could happen. All right, so now and then there's the green zone. The green zone is the more lush area, and that's the place that I'm based in right now. And I just love the look of it. I think it looks really, really good. It's the one that has more daylight, has more sun effects, has better lighting. And then there's the blue zone, and the blue zone is actually right down there. It's this to new players. This map is rather confusing, but once you played on it for quite a bit, you'll be able to realize, you know, exactly where all the different sections are. And the blue zone is actually kind of more like a gray on this. It's where you first start getting down into the subterranean bits of the bits of the arc, and yeah, it's a lot of glowing plants, a lot of bioluminescence down there. You get lots of the aberrant creatures down there, which will be glowing themselves, and it's kind of amazing just how good the blue zone looks. And if it had better lighting, I'd probably base there a little bit more often. But there are a couple on this list where they are in the blue zone, just because the blue zone, it's once you can tame the nameless, or if you can find a spot that doesn't have a lot of nameless, it's actually not a bad place to base. It's just fighting off the nameless all the time. It can be a little bit tedious after a while. All right, and then you have the red zone, and I would absolutely not recommend you basing in the red zone. The red zone, it's dangerous. It's really dangerous. Matter of fact, the red zone on Aberration is probably one of the biggest, most dangerous places in all of Ark. It is really, really dangerous. So just be careful if you're going to be basing near there, although one of these base locations is kind of near there. Because there is a lot of really good resources in there, but it's also, like I said, it'll bite your head off and poop you out. And it's kind of the way it is. All right, so hey, let's get started on this. I've been talking a little bit too long, and let's go talk about the first one. All right, so the first one is actually right here. Up here at the Fertile Lake. It's right around this area, way up here on the top. Now, this right here is one of the earlier beginning spawn locations where you can just spawn in. And it's got all sorts of stuff. It's got Ravagers. It's got, I mean, all of the herbivores that you would come to expect are up here, which is kind of a good thing. Also, it does have its share of dangerous stuff, which is kind of cool as well. Seriously? All right, so let's get up here. All right, so, yeah, it has its dangerous areas. It has its safer areas. But just around this entire lake, you can find all sorts of pretty cool stuff. Now, granted, metal is a little bit shy, but there are places where you can get metal. If you're going to base here, I would recommend that you find the places that have the metal first, and then start building up your place. That way there you know exactly where you have to go in order to get it. But there is just a ton of stuff around here. This one is more of just an area as opposed to just one designated place. It's like this area right here. Beautiful. And this is right in between everything, way up on top. You can pipe metal from down, or you can pipe water from down below. Also, you can come out here and you can see down inside this massive blue lake. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This is a great spot. And once again, this is right here on the map, right? One of the earlier beginning starting areas. All right, so one of my next favorite areas on this map, one of my next favorite base locations is this spot right over here along this river right here. This is such an amazing spot. This is just a gem. This area right here, it's got its own oh, you have a little geyser right there. And then it's got just this water way that goes out right here. The blue zone is seriously just right here. And it leads to the vines. So just with some zip lines and some Ravagers, you can go from here to over there, down in the blue zone, no problem. This is located right here on the map. Absolutely amazing spot. Plus, there's all sorts of different areas right around here. There's an entrance to the surface just right up this way. There's some charging stations just right over there. Yeah, this is just an amazing spot. Plus, nothing will come mess with you here. Yeah, I mean, I based here for an entire season right here, and it was just absolutely amazing. The only problem I had was every once in a while, you'd have a piranha come and get you. So then I ended up taming the piranhas, and then all of a sudden, the otters became a nuisance, so I had to engage war on them. But it was okay. Yeah, this is just an amazing spot. And then also, if you're building out here, know that this spot right here with Ravagers and a zip line will take you right to here. And this spot right here is a nameless free. Matter of fact, this is the number 3 best spot that I can think of. This area right here, just right down below, just right at the tip of the blue zone. Notice I'm running around here without a shoulder pet. Yeah. This is absolutely phenomenal. This is amazing. There's so much metal here designated by these blue color rocks. It's just really, really cool. The only problem with this area right here is getting fresh water. So if you were going to base here, I would recommend that you actually connect it to this waterfall right over on top of here, just so where you have some sort of connector that allows you to get water from there to here. I mean, you can even bring water from there to here. You can actually just have it have a water pipe trace a zip line, and you just carry it on the Ravager. It's really that easy, and this is an absolutely phenomenal spot. All right, so yeah, these two areas right here are, yeah, they're more of yeah, combine the two, but absolutely an amazing spot. Right. If you base here, I hope you enjoy it. I know I really have. Alright, now as we're flying to the next spot, there are quite a few different places because verticality is definitely a thing when it comes to Aberration, which makes it really, really cool. But there are a lot of places, like up here on these, where it is nice and flat area, but it's a serious lack of resources, be it water, be it metal, be it just a way of actually connecting to any of the places that make it, well, you're really limiting what kind of resources you have access to by building up here. Now, there are a lot of places like this right here. This is a nice flat area. It's really cool. It's even got a rock that you could build around, make a really nice, pretty base, and then you even have zip lines to go over to that next area over there. But unless if you're piping water up from way down there, then it's going to become a problem. And yeah, this is why when it comes around to building up on places like this, yeah, you can do it. And yeah, some of these are really good places, but I'm not going to recommend them just because you're kind of selling yourself short with it. All right, now let's get over here to the next one. This area right here. This is absolutely a fantastic spot. Here, let me show you. Right up underneath this area. And it's right here on the map. Way over here by this little river. Way over here. Oh man, this is such a good area. Now, there's a spot over here that's a really good base location right there. Or you can just base right over on the tip of this. But if you base on the tip of this, you will end up cutting off some of your metal spawns. Because there's rich metal spawns that spawn right here. Although there are also rich metal spawns that spawn right over there. So, yeah, you could build right here on this island, be left alone, build bridges that go out to everything, use some cliff platforms up there, which looks really dang good, by the way, and then have access to metal right there. You have access to silica pearls, otters in here, you have the glowtail cave that's right behind it, plus also right up over on this side, there's even an entrance to the surface. Right up, follow this path around to the left. There's an entrance to the surface up there. It is absolutely cool. This is an amazing, amazing spot. And once again, this is right here. Absolutely recommend this spot. This is great. All right, so now that we're done with this one, let's go over to one that a lot of people tend to recommend this one, but I really don't. This is... Flip around here. Wow, that's a lot of dangerous stuff up here today. Okay. Right, but yeah, right over here at the portal area. A lot of people tend to, from what I've noticed, they either tend to base here or they tend to recommend here. I don't, to be fair. If you were gonna build here up at the portal, I would suggest that you build somewhere around over on one of these areas or the areas over there, because you can't get water here. You just cannot pipe water here, which makes it rather unfortunate. I mean, there are ways of getting water and such, but it's, yeah, the lack of resources over here, plus also the lack of water, makes this not a good spot to base. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of really cool things over here. It does seem to be rather safe. And to be fair, it is rather safe. All except for this has the greatest concentration of basilisk spawns on Aberration. This little area right around here. If you're looking for basilisks, by the way, this is where you go. Especially up there, up on those ledges. Yeah, always basilisks up there. Always. All right. But yeah, from the lack of water, lack of resources, everything like this, I don't recommend building here on the, by the portal. I mean, it is a good, safe place to start, but start here and tell me how your water situation goes. It's not gonna be good. Trust me. You're gonna be eating berries, and yeah, it's gonna be a real bad time. All right, so let's get down here to the next one because there are several more that I want to talk with you guys about. All right, now this spot right here, this is more of an advanced build area because it is quite a bit more dangerous, but the payoff for this area, if you can get this under control, this is so good. You are right in the middle of so much metal. You're right in the middle of the blue zone, the red zone, the green zone. You're right down below. There is just so much stuff. Plus, also, you have these tide pools down here. And these tide pools have got so much dinosaurs in them. It is absolutely phenomenal. This is great. And this is located right here on the map. You come down from the, where the bridge is, or the broken spine. It comes down, and then, hey, yeah, suck it, Mr. Rock Drake, I'm out of here. And then you just go right there. Plus, also, there's a bunch of big rocks that you can put cleft platforms on. This is a really, really good spot. All right, so let's head over to another area I wanted to show you guys that is really good as well. It's down in the blue zone, but we're going to be in for a little bit of a flight because it's a ways away from here. Now, once again, down here in the blue zone, and, I mean, is it hard? I mean, is it just me, or is it really hard to resist the pull of coming down here? Because this looks absolutely amazing. But yeah, there are quite a few different places that you could base down here, namely on a bunch of the bridges. But the key thing with finding one is turn off your light pet. See how much nameless comes out. If not a lot of nameless comes out, or if no nameless comes out, that means you're generally pretty safe. So if you're going to be looking for a base area, do a nameless check. Just serious. Save yourself some grief. Do a nameless check, and if you don't have any nameless coming out, then generally that's a pretty good spot. But yeah, right up above this river, this is a good spot, but it is hard. I mean, granted, with all of the reflections and everything, you may have to turn down your graphics a little bit, because this is just, it's beautiful. It's a great spot. All right, let me fall into the water here, and then let's go over to the next spot. All right, now right here, this is an amazing spot. Here, let me show you this right here. This is way, way, way down into the blue zone. I mean, deep into the blue zone. Right over where the Cave of Shadows is. It's right over here. The cave is right down through there, underneath that zip line area. Right over there. But yeah, this is one of the places where you're probably going to want to build a wall around it just to stop like the Arthropleura and the crabs from coming up. But once you actually have a nice wall around it, you have a really good spot. You could build right around this charge station, so where it's constantly running and constantly doing stuff for you. Plus, also, you have an amazing access right here to the red zone. And not just a really small amazing access to the red zone, but probably one of the best ways into the red zone, because right over on the side, over on this, if you keep following this river around, sorry Mr. Crab, I ain't gonna mess with you today. If you come right over to this, there's this little bit. Comes over right here that takes you up the side of over here, which brings you to one of the best spots for Reaper Queens that you can get, and it's absolutely amazing. This is a great spot, and then it all kind of just comes down to where you're close to that to this area, but not too close. But yeah, right up this path right there is a phenomenal spot for Reaper Queens. You can go up there. There a whole bunch of them spawn up there. You can clear them out, and then you can come back and you can just keep checking the respawns on them, because they're always respawning up there. But yeah, it's an amazing spot, and yeah, I totally recommend building there. If you're gonna build here, I would recommend building over by the charge station right there, and then coming over and getting all this metal, because if you build in the center of the metal, it's not gonna respawn. So yeah, that's the thing. All right, from the lake down there, you can actually come up. There is this little pathway that winds its way over on the very far eastern side, right up through here. It just brings you all the way up to this little piece of heaven right up here. This is just great. The only problem with this area is, well, to be fair, it's a little bit away from everything. Like I said, you are on the very far east of the area, but if you come up here, it gets rather dark, but you can use this area as a really safe spot. Yeah, you do get nameless here every once in a while, but as long as you can kind of keep it in check, you can build up here, and there's just so many resources right here. But like I said, if you want to go do a few things, you are a little bit away from everything, but there's so many resources here. Yeah, I based here on a series a long time ago, right when Aberration came out, and this is an amazing spot. And this is right here on the map. Great spot. Alright, so I think that's probably going to do it for my favorite base locations, the ones I would absolutely recommend to people who are starting out on Aberration, or to people who have played here for a while and just didn't really occur to them that's actually a really good spot. Because these are really good spots. I've done series on them. I've based here for many times. And yeah, I hope the video helps you out. So yeah, I think I'm going to end it up there. So, hey, yeah, if you liked the video, make sure you click that like button. I really appreciate that. If you're new around here, subscribe. And until next time, this is Phlinger Phoo, and take it easy, everybody.